Hello everyone, good morning. This is your host, ISTUDYPRICE here. Good morning, Murtaza. Welcome to the live stream. Hello everyone, Malik, welcome to the live stream. Good morning. So let's start the analysis on the NASDAQ. As we can see, price is currently near to the previous day high. On the daily time frame, we can see how price is basically moving from this bullish fair value gap to those highs. So let's move on to the weekly time frame and see if we have a, so this should be the next draw on liquidity. So this is going to be the next DOL. So on the daily time frame, we can see how price is moving from this bullish fair value gap and also inverted this bearish fair value gap. So bias for the opening is bullish for me, So this is the next possible area for the price to go, and here we can see on the daily time frame. So here we can see that this candle basically left a bearish fair value gap, and now this bearish fair value gap is inverted by the price, and now we can look for these highs. So on the 4-hour time frame we can see price is bullish. So this was the area. So here we have this inverted fair value gap. So I will drag this to the right side. So this is basically inverted fair value gap on the daily time frame. So let's move on to the hourly. So we have this previous day high here. So the market will open after 3 minutes. So if the price is bullish, price should not come back to this fair value gap or this fair value gap. As we can see, price have already made a new high after breaking these highs. Because price have already rebalanced this fair value gap. Okay, now let's move on to the 15-minute time frame and see what price is. Please leave a like on the live stream if you are watching this for the first time. We are trading this NASDAQ and we are applying ICT concepts on it, and we trade daily at 9:15 a.m. Eastern. So here we can see how price is moving towards the previous day high. So we have London low here. So here is the support for the price, where price came back into this 15-minute bullish fair value gap, and we still have these fair value gaps. So if we are bullish, then price should not retrace deep into these fair value gaps. So what I am looking here, so if price will take these lows after the opening, and after that we will see a good setup to the buy side, then that's a good scenario to take buys. So now market is open. Good morning everyone, welcome to the live stream. So let's see if we have a data today. So we don't have any high impact news today. Okay, so this gray shaded area is basically bullish fair value gap on the 15-minute time frame. And as I mentioned before, my bias is bullish. Let's see what ES is doing on the other hand. So here we can see price took these lows on the 1 minute time frame. Now price trying to go higher. Let's see if this current 5 minute candle will close bullish. So here we can see price is about to make this breaker on the 1 minute time frame, but price is very aggressive. I think this current 1 minute candle would take this previous day high. Let's see. Now we can see we have a rejection from the upside. I will wait for the next 15 minutes, and after that I will plan my entries. So NASDAQ took this previous day high, as we have discussed before the opening. Our bias was bullish, and we have next draw on liquidity here. So this could be the potential area for the price to go in, because we have this unfilled bearish fair value gap on the hourly time frame. So price is aggressively moving towards this unfilled bearish fair value gap on hourly time frame. You can see how aggressively price left this area after creating this low. So we finally have this first fair value gap after the opening on the 1 minute time frame. So this was the breaker which we have marked, but it didn't fulfill the criteria for a valid breaker, because this candle could not close above this breaker area. So price is aggressively moving to the upside, and we have this bearish fair value gap on the 1 hour time frame, and first 15-minute candle will close in like 7 minutes. The opening range will be set after the 7 minute. Please leave a like on the live stream, and I'm still waiting for the right setup. It is totally fine if you didn't take these buys. Always wait for the right setup and the right moment to enter in the market. So we can see here how aggressively price delivered to the upside. So this 15-minute candle is about to close in 3 minutes, and the first 15-minute range will be set. So price taking some time here on the on the 1 hour bearish fair value gap. Price left this bullish fair value gap on the 1 minute, and this one also. So the first 15-minute range is about to set. In like 40 seconds. So here on the 5-minute time frame, we can see we have this breaker opportunity on the 5-minute time frame. How precisely price moved from this breaker on the 5-minute time frame. After this candle closed above this breaker, the next candle just touched this upper quadrant of this breaker and shoot to the upside like a bullet. So if you will focus on this area I have mentioned before the opening, if the price is bullish, then price should not go lower from these lows or to these fair value gaps, because the drawn liquidity of the higher time frame, which was the previous day high here, so it was near to the price when market was about to open. So that's why I was looking for bullish price action after the opening, and I wasn't expecting the deep retracement to this discounted area. So the next macro will start in like 2 minutes, the 950 macro. Let's just wait for the next macro and then we will plan our trade. So on the other hand, we can see yes is weak compared to the NASDAQ. So after this aggressive move to the upside, I do not expect price to retrace back deeper into the discounted areas, and I am not confident about the sells here. I'm still looking for the bias, but if market will offer us a good setup in the direction of buy side, then we will definitely plan our trade. And the macro is, so the 950 macro starts now. So here I have a question for you guys, that please let me know. Here I have draw two of these, swing high and low, and where should price go next? Tell me in the chat what could be the next draw on liquidity according to this opening range low and opening range high. With respect to this price action, can you predict that what should be the next draw on liquidity? Let me know in the chat. Yes, look, you're right. And with respect to this this price action, we can clearly see that we have good volume um, in the direction of bias, and we can see price is now near to the opening range high. So that should be the next draw on liquidity for the price, because we are bullish on the higher time frame as well. So now here we can see price is just chopping around this area. So this is basically 1 hour CB, like this. So the normal environment, or you can say a good environment, is if both NASDAQ and ES moving like same, but here we can see ES have made this low after the opening, whereas NASDAQ is trying to go higher. And if we are looking for the buys on the NASDAQ, then ES should support the idea of bias, and it should create the bullish structure. Then it will be a good environment to take trade in. So hourly candle will close in like 4 minutes, and we can clearly see that this hourly candle is still in this CB. Let's see how this current 1 hour candle will close. So do not plan any trade around here, because this is a very messy area or choppy area, and I am still confident with the bias. So we are in this 950 macro, but still waiting for a good setup. I'm looking for the bias. So here we can see price just filled this fair value gap on the 1 minute time frame. So this could be the potential area for the inversion. So let's see. So if we can enter here, put our stop loss. So this could be a very tight stop loss if we will put our stop loss here, just below this candle body, and target 2 hour. And let's see how the 5 minute is looking. So we can see a rejection from the upside. Let's just wait for the clean setup. So these wicks on the 5 minute candles are basically making me confused here, if I should take trade on this or not. So if I am not confident about the setup, then I will definitely will not enter on this. Yes, as you can see, price have closed its body above this CB. So this is the good sign that price is bullish. So now we can see this is the inverted fair value gap on the 1 hour time frame. So let me change this to IFVG. Like this. Now move on to the 1 minute time frame. So this 1 minute inversion played out very well, but I was not in this trade. So here we can see price just swept these lows on the 1 minute time frame and moved from this bullish fair value gap on the 1 minute time frame, whereas on the other hand we can see how aggressively ES delivered to the upside after making new lower lows. So we can see one thing similar after the break of structure. Here we can see how aggressively price delivered to the upside after breaking this structure, and now we can see how price is moving aggressively after the break of this structure. This was a good setup on the 1 minute time frame, as price offered this entry on the 1 minute inverted fair value gap. And this is a good sign if price is making the break of structure in the one direction and also leaving the fair value gap in the same direction. Yeah, it was a good move, look, but I was confused about these wicks here, and we were also in this 1 hour bearish PD array. That's why I didn't consider this to take entry on this inverted fair value gap, but it played out very well. So now price is basically moving towards this next drawn liquidity which we have marked just before the opening. So we can annotate this as next DOL. So this could be the next potential area for the price to go in. On the hourly we can see price is aggressively bullish, also filled this bearish fair value gap on the hourly time frame. Yes, we have a breaker on the 5 minute time frame. Here we have this. So this was a single opportunity to enter bias on the 5 minute time frame. As you can see, price just came back into this bullish fair value gap after closing this candle just above the breaker. We could take impulsive entry on this breaker as well. And so we could basically take a trade after the closing of this candle. So now waiting for the next macro, the silver bullet macro. So here I have a question for you. So let's say if you could spot this buy side liquidity sweep and you have a breaker here, will you take the sell entry on this breaker or not? Let me know in the chat. Will you take the entry on this bearish breaker? And please tell me your reason to enter on this bearish breaker if you will enter on this breaker. So we have this 1 minute bearish fair value gap here. Let's see if the price will fill this fair value gap. So here we can see price is in this 1 minute fair value gap. So let's say if price will close a candle above this, so where should we put our stop loss? Like this, and target 2 hour like this. But this is not confirmed yet. I will still wait for the price to close a candle with the body above this fair value gap. Then I will consider this inversion. Okay, cool. Now we can say that this inversion could play this inversion. So NAK answered it's not spotting higher time frame and we are close of drawn liquidity. Will wait for sweep to higher time frame because taking trade because before taking trade. Yes, you are right. We should not take the entry on this bearish breaker because we are close to the next drawn liquidity, which is a higher time frame target. So do not take trades on the lower time frame if you are near to the higher time frame target, and do not take trades in the opposite direction of drawn liquidity on the higher time frame. So always stay in the order flow of higher time frame. So That practice will increase your chances of winning. And Malik answered here no, because price could reverse on you due to it being higher time frame liquidity resting above. Yes, you are right. As you can see, price still wants to go higher, and we can basically try this inversion here like this. Let's say where we should put our stop loss, like here, and target should be 2 hour. It will be around this next drawn liquidity. But let's say if we will take trade on this breaker and put your, let me draw this. So here we can see this could be the next breaker. So if we will put our entry here, let me change the color of this rectangle. So if we will enter on this breaker like this and put our stop loss just below the breaker and target to our like this. So this could be a good idea for the buys, because it will confirm that price filled this fair value gap on the 1 minute time frame also, and break the structure of, so we'll break this high here. So it will be a break of structure in the buy direction. So that could be a good entry here on the breaker. So we will wait. Let's see if the market will offer us this setup. Until that, we will wait patiently and will not take any random trades here. So please let me know in the chat if you are learning from this live stream, and these live stream adding values in your daily trading. So on 5 minute time frame, we are currently in this bullish fair value gap, this one. So don't get confused in this sell price action from this high to this low. Just focus on this higher time frame drawn liquidity. And as you can see, we draw this breaker on the 1 minute time frame I have discussed why we should not take entry on this bearish breaker here, because of this drawn liquidity on the higher time frame. And price is currently, if I can mark here, this breaker here on the 1 minute time frame, and we are in this silver bullet macro as well, which started at 10:20 and it will long until the 10:40 a.m. Eastern. So this is good sign. Price is moving from this bullish fair value gap to the upside. So we can plan an entry here or here. So this will be the good idea, because price will also close above this 1 minute bearish fair value gap. So if we will enter on here, this could be the SL, and 2R is just above this strong liquidity. So if we will enter on this breaker, our stop loss should be here. Then we can target 2R easily on this breaker. So we will wait. So let's see how previous 55-minute candle closed. So the previous 5-minute candle closed bullish after coming back into this 5-minute bullish fair value gap for the third time. But we have to wait. We will wait patiently for the right setup. So look is telling us we have a minor SMT at the 1 minute highs. Let's see. I think this could be this one. Yes. So here we have this SMT on the 1 minute time frame. So currently price is filling this 5 minute bullish fair value gap aggressively, as we can see. A very aggressive move to the downside after making this SMT. So here we can see yes, made a new lower low again, whereas we are still in bullish structure on NASDAQ. Yes, it is totally depend how this current 5 minute candle will close. Let's see how 15 minute is looking. Very aggressive move to the downside. So if I will move on to the 15 minute time frame, I will not take any sell entry until we are in this first presented bullish fair value gap after the opening. So this is how you can set your narrative if you are looking to take the sell or buy. So if you are in a bullish PD array on higher time frame with respect to 1 minute time frame, then you should wait for the price to fill this bullish fair value gap. Then you can plan trades in the sell direction. Because price could probably reverse from this area, because it is right now in this bullish fair value gap on the 15 minute time frame. So why this 15 minute bullish fair value gap is significant? Because this was the first presented fair value gap after the opening. So that's why I'm waiting for this fair value gap to hold the price, or if the price will fail this fair value gap. So currently price is basically stuck in between these two premium and discount PD arrays according to the 5 minute time frame. So let's say if you are looking for the cells on this breaker and you are confused if this bullish fair value gap will hold the price or not, or if the price will retrace back to this inversion on the 5 minute time frame. So if you are stuck between two PD arrays on premium and the discount area, then you should wait for the price to give you a clean setup or a good confluence. But I am still in the favor of bias, because on the higher time frame we can see we have a drawn liquidity here, and we have also seen prices currently bullish according to the higher time frame. Please let me know in the chat if anyone trading futures firm challenge. What is your experience with the futures firm on the challenge accounts? So look, how is your experience with the futures? How is the trading condition on the futures? And you also don't experience any slippage or spread on the futures firm futures account, right? Yes, futures is good option because you can pass their challenges very quickly, but the payout rules are very strict. If you will compare to the CFD firms, the rules on the futures firm for the payouts are strict. Yes, CFDs firm challenges are basically very expensive. You're right. Yes, but you have to pay for the activation fee after you will pass the challenge, futures firm challenge. So here you can see how aggressively price is moving to the upside, but we are not in the macro. I will wait for the 1050 macro, then we will see if we will get a setup. On the 5-minute time frame, we can see price filling this bearish fair value gap on the 5-minute time frame, and this is a very good recovery in the V shape. Yes, I also trade on TV. I can't trade on mobile phone because for the last 4 to 5 years I am trading on my laptop. So if this current 5-minute candle will close bullish, that means we will invert this fair value gap on the 5-minute time frame, which is a good sign that price wants to go higher. And as I have mentioned before, until we are in this first 15-minute bullish fair value gap, we will not take any sells. And I also mentioned why this 15-minute bullish fair value gap is significant, because this was the first presented fair value gap after the opening. So now we have inverted this 5-minute fair value gap, and we are reaching to the next macro, which is 1050. We are having a small fair value gap here, inverted this fair value gap here, this one. So for now I can't see a good entry and a good placement for the SL. So let's say if you will enter after this inversion, where you should put your stop loss like this. This is a very risky stop loss here, and target 2R like this. Okay, so we are going to take this trade on this inversion. If price will reverse into this area, and we will put our stop loss just here. So this is another inversion setup. Let's see if we will have the chance to enter in this trade. So the next macro will start in like 1 minute. So if price will take this high before coming back into this area, now we should not take this entry because price have already took this buy side without coming back into this inversion after closing the candle body above this bearish fair value gap. We should not try this. Let's move on to the 5 minute. Yes, I am planning to switch my trading journey to the futures. I have tried Apex prop firm and futures prop firm, and the conditions were good on their platform. I basically selected the trader weight as my trading platform on the Apex futures prop firm, and I have passed one of their 50k challenge. So it was difficult in starting to understand their rules, but it is easy to pass their challenges. But the rules for the payouts are very strict. So price is now delivering to the next drawn liquidity which we have marked, and that was our final target for the day, but unfortunately we didn't enter any trade today because here we can see we have planned this trade, but price moved without us, and also price did not come back into this area. You can say that like this, and it is just now near to the drawn liquidity. Let's see where is 4 hour high. This one. Okay. Well, we have different swing high lows on the future and on the indices. So I will definitely not take a buy just near to this drawn liquidity. So here we can see price didn't give a chance to enter a trade because we can see there was no proper retracement. Here we can see we only had this single bearish candle in this price leg, but our idea was right about the buys. So we were expecting the bullish move to the upside to this next drawn liquidity. So let's see David. So David is telling about the change in state in delivery on the 5 minute time frame, as we can see here, and we have a breaker here on the 5 minute time frame. We have fair value gap within this breaker as well, but we have bullish fair value gap which is unfilled. So if the price will take this drawn liquidity on the higher time frame, then we will definitely not consider this buys. So price came back into this bullish fair value gap, which is 5 minute bullish fair value gap. Let's see if the next candle will move to the upside. So I will stream for another 10 minutes. After the 10 minutes, we will end this live stream. But it was a pretty decent day today. Very clean price action. Price making higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So it was a good AM session overall. Price got the support from this first presented bullish fair value gap on 15-minute time frame. And here you can see on the 5-minute time frame you have this clean breaker, bearish breaker, and we have also fair value gap within this breaker. But if you will not follow the bias or narrative on the higher time frame, then you will eventually trapped into the moves. So let me see if we can try this breaker here on the 1 minute time frame. If we will take entry on this, and the target is very high on this trade. Yes, price coming back from this breaker on the 5 minute time frame. We also had this bullish fair value gap within this breaker. Okay, I will give it a try to this entry if the candle will close with the body above this breaker. Still waiting for the price to close a candle body above the breaker. We will not take entry until the price will close a single candle above this, but unfortunately this was a not good idea. So I think we will end our live stream without any entry today because we couldn't get a good chance to enter trade, but our idea was right about the bullish bias. It is totally fine if you haven't entered in the market, because if you are not taking a trade, that means you are winning on that day. You are still in cash, you didn't lose a single trade, so that was a good day. So I will end this stream here. See you guys tomorrow in the live stream. This is it for today. Bye everyone.